So they're trying to get together a package, an aid package during the middle of this crisis. And Adam Surer caught this. This is from an article in the Atlantic. It's a profile on Katie Porter, who's a new progressive who got elected in 2018, right out here in California. The Dem leadership should listen to Katie Porter. The obsession with means testing while the economy is imploding is insane. Yes, it is insane. And that shows you how calcified the Democratic Party is. But here we go. So the interviewer says, what kind of things? Porter says, the speaker wants to explore refundable tax credits as a tool to help. That is too slow, in my opinion. We need to get actual cash assistance to American families right now. Many of them are going to see a paycheck cut or jobs lost entirely. I've been calling, along with Mitt Romney, for an immediate cash stimulus. I shouldn't say stimulus because I really don't think it's a stimulus. It's a $1,000 cash payment to stabilize American households to be delivered before the crucial first of the month, April 1st, when so many people's bills become due. Republicans in Congress are negotiating with the Trump administration on a deal that would involve direct cash payments. Pelosi, per her spokesman, supports an approach targeted to the most in need. Targeted. So not a UBI, not a one-time cash payment, not a recurring cash payment, direct cash payment in the middle of a pandemic, economic meltdown. She wants to means test it. You know, set up a website, you fill out some forms, you have the IRS audit you later, you take it, then we figure out how. She goes on, the fact that the speaker is talking about refundable tax credits, who has the time to wait to do their taxes and see what they get a year from now? This is Katie Porter admonishing Nancy Pelosi's ridiculousness. But you turn on Rachel Maddow and Chris Hayes, and they're going to tell you what a great job Nancy Pelosi is doing to go against Trump. She's not going against Trump. She's further to the right than Trump. You fucking liars. Additionally, we should have mandated paid sick leave from large corporations. The largest employers should not have received a subsidy, which is what we gave medium-sized employers, but we still should have mandated that they provide sick leave. And they didn't. They have the most flexibility and the most resources to do sick leave, and we let them off the hook, hoping they'll do it on their own. I think that was wrong. I hope that we go back and push harder for that. I wish she would just say, that was wrong. Not I think. That was wrong. So there's your Democratic leadership sticking it right in your ass in the middle of a fucking pandemic and an economic meltdown. Saying we're going to means test while they give trillions of dollars to Wall Street. While they're about to give billions of dollars to the airline industry. While they're about to bail out goddamn casinos, you got to jump through hoops. Send the checks, expand social insurance, tax it back from the wealthy later. That's it. You know, they just gave a $1.7 trillion tax cut to the wealthy. I think that would pay for this. And I showed this to you yesterday on the show. I'll show it again, and I'll show it again in another segment. Michael Sonato saying the push for means-tested benefits is unbelievable. State unemployment benefits websites aren't working. They don't make up for lost wages. A lot of people from freelancers to small business owners don't qualify, and people are getting hurt in more ways than just layoffs. So again, the Democratic Party unable to have a solution as big as the problem. Not only that, they're dragging their feet. They're horrible. They're a zombie party, as Chris Hedges says, and there's no point to them. There's no point to the Democratic Party. And, you know, Katie Porter's a good progressive, and there's a handful of good people inside the Democratic Party who are elected. But they always bend to the knee to the party. Always. They always bend the knee to the party. Always. Bernie can't stop bending the knee to the party. AOC bends the knee to the party. Tulsi bends the knee to the party. She just not endorsed, but is going to support Joe Biden. Although, goddamn it, I don't want to. Nobody went hard at the DNC like Tulsi did, so she's not in that same group. But they all eventually come around to being Democrats, and that's bad because the Democratic Party is a counter-revolutionary party, and they take, people like Bernie and all the progressives into the party to control them and squelch them. So now all the progressives got a bunch of all the progressive candidates got a bunch of young progressives interested in the Democratic Party. They join, and now what are you going to do? Tell them to vote for fucking Joe Biden? That's a waste. As Kshama Sawant said when I had her on the show 2 years ago, she's not going to be a Democrat. Why? Because the road for progressives inside the Democratic Party leads to a graveyard.
Jimmy, remind me, wasn't when we were speaking with Kshama Sawant, wasn't that over where they were trying to actually legislate on behalf of the homeless in that area?
I don't remember why we had her on.
I thought that was because, and then Bezos undermined that. I thought that was
so they had passed a law that was going to give aid to homeless people and was going to tax the corporations in Seattle, and then they, of course, laid their corporate pressure on the city council, and they overturned it. That's fucking unbelievable. And
then suddenly, during a pandemic,
we live in a psychopathic
then
culture.
Gavin Newsom's able to start finding housing.
All of a sudden,
because
all of a sudden,
there are consequences.
Yeah, all of a sudden, when it affects them, they figured out, hey, we can take care of these homeless people. There's a way. Hey, this is the part where I tell you where our live shows are, but there aren't any. And then I would tell you to go join our premium, but nobody has a fucking job. So why don't you just enjoy the video?